One day, there was a girl in a village that was right on the edge of the woods. She lived with her mother, and her name was Red. Although her name was Red, everybody called her Little Red Riding Hood because of the signature crimson coat that she wore everywhere she went. On this particular day, her mother had a task for her. She called her into the kitchen. "Young Red, I have something for you to do," the mother said. Red, promptly running into the kitchen, responded, "Yes, Mother, what is it?" "I have just baked this lovely cake for your grandmother, and I would like you to bring it to her in the woods." Red responded, "Of course, Mother, anything for you." But then the mother warned, "Red, you must be very careful. There are strangers and creatures in the woods who do not wish for your well-being. So, you must go straight to your grandmother's house and do not talk to any strangers." Red said, "Of course, Mother. I'll do as you wish." She took the cake and she walked out the door, off on her journey to her grandmother's house. As she walked, she followed the tan, long path down through the woods and the pines to her grandmother's. As she walked, she hummed a tune. As she hummed, she looked through the beautiful pine trees. She saw beautiful creatures and the birds were singing along with her humming. As she continued, she heard something in the brush, a rustle of leaves, and as she looked in that direction, she saw something gray coming out of the bushes. She was frightened. But then the creature spoke. "Hello, little girl," the creature said. "Hello," Red responded. Then the creature, which looked much like a wolf, said, "What is your name, little girl?" Red responded promptly, "Well, my name is Red, but everybody calls me Little Red Riding Hood." The wolf then questioned, "And where are you heading on this fine day?" Red, looking around, he seemed nice enough, said, "Well, I'm going to my grandmother's, just over the river." The wolf said, "Oh, how nice. And you're bringing her that cake?" "Yes, I am. My mother baked it for her." "How nice. Well, don't you think that she might want some beautiful flowers with that cake?" Just to the left of them was a strip of a large field of flowers. Red said, "Yes, that would be awesome," excitedly. She went to the flowers and said, Thank you, turning around. The wolf, he had a sneaky plan in mind. He thought, she can pick the flowers, and while she's doing that, I'll head straight to the grandmother's house, and I'll have her for dinner, and then I'll wait and have Red for dessert. So he did just that. He ran straight to Grandma's house, knocked on the door, politely. No answer. So he tried the knob. It was unlocked, so he walked right in. There was no sign of life in the main room, so he went towards the back through the hall. He went to the back room, and he saw Grandmother lying peacefully in sleep in her bed. He grabbed her, opened his mouth, and swallowed her whole. While this was going on, Red was back picking flowers. She picked pink ones, white ones, a few lavender ones, and once she had a full bouquet, she began walking towards Grandmother's house. Her mind was absent of the exchange that she had with the wolf. When she got to her grandmother's, she knocked on the door. "Grandmother," she called. No response. She knocked once more. "Grandmother, I have cake for you and a bouquet." Still no response. She usually left it unlocked, so she tried the door, and it was open. She went in and saw nobody in the front room. So then she walked to the back room where her grandmother always slept, and she stared at her grandmother for a second in the bed. "Grandmother, what big ears you have." "All the better to see you with, my dear." "But grandmother, what big eyes you have." "All the better to hear you with." "But grandmother, what a big furry coat you have." The wolf stared at her. "That's wrong," he responded. He promptly jumped up to attack Red, but she pulled the gun from her knickers, which her father gave her to protect her. She aimed it at the head of the wolf, and bang, bang, bang! The wolf was dead. She saved her grandmother from the belly of the wolf, and they talked long and hard about the lesson that she needs to learn, that strangers are not to be talked to. Later, when I was walking through the woods, I saw little Red, but she wasn't the same naive little girl that I had known last week. And she didn't have the same attire. When I saw her, her red riding hood was gone, and instead, she had a big, gray, furry wolfskin coat. Thank you.